Hey everybody, Dave here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Shadows of Brimstone, Swamps of Death. And a couple things that I needed to address before we get started here. There was pointed out by some of the viewers that I did make some rules goofs, some minor ones in terms of scavenging and encounters and stuff like that. So I'm not going to go back and fix those, but moving forward we're going to actually be playing properly. It's been a while since I've played Shadows of Brimstone, and I don't have a ton of experience for it, so please forgive me for that. But a couple other things that I needed to do that I noticed on the video. When we placed the second tile, I needed to move up our party marker on the depth track. And then also over on the mine entrance, I need to take this lantern token off. This is no longer going to be affected by the lantern itself. And we have completed our encounter over here. So, right now, we are closing in on being able to go through this gate into the swamps of Jargono, but we need to do a few things first. So let's get started. The first thing that we need to do is make a roll to hold back the darkness. So far we've been very fortunate in being able to hold it back. We have been successful in our rolls. Let's see where we're at. And we have a 7, so we are successful in holding back the darkness. Alright. We need to activate our characters. So the Jargono native is going to go first. So we will roll for movement and roll the 1. So she is going to get a grit and going to go ahead and spend it. We're going to use the grit to add d6 to our movement, and she has a total of 3 movement. So 1, 2. That's all she can move in here because of the conditions that we have. We have this flooded passageway and an underground waterfall. So we'll be waiting for her to catch up with us. Next, we will activate the cowboy. We'll roll for movement, and has a 2, so we're going to go 1, 2, and he will go ahead and scavenge the room. So we'll get our dice tray out, rolling 3 dice, looking for 6s, and we have 1, 6, so we're successful in scavenging. So let me put a scavenge token on the board. And we'll grab the scavenge deck and give it a quick shuffle. See what we're going to draw for Branson. Branson has found a hideous discovery. So, poking around in the shadows, you see something that chills you to the bone. You quickly return to the group, refusing to speak of what you found. Take 3 horror hits that do 2 sanity damage each. And he's also going to gain 10 XP. So Branson has 10 XP added to there. And now we need to make a willpower save against this hideous discovery. And he needs to roll 4+. And so we have 3 of the hits. We're looking for high rolls here. And we have successfully saved against 2 of them. So 1, he is going to take 2 sanity damage. So I will take the sanity damage markers, 2 of them, and put them over onto his character card. So he has a sanity value of 12. He's down to 10 sanity left. And finally, we're going to activate the prospector, Ezra. He's going to roll for movement. Rolls a 4. And he's going to just move 1 space forward. Actually, we'll move 2 spaces forward, and he's going to go ahead and scavenge the room. So he gets to roll an extra die. By the way, this scavenge card can go back in the scavenge deck. He gets to roll an extra die because of his ability of being his eagle eye. So we're going to roll 4 dice looking for 6s, and we have nothing. Not even close. So that's going to end this round. We're going to go ahead and roll to hold back the darkness. And we rolled a 5. This is the first time now that we have not been able to hold back the darkness, so it will move 1 step on the depth track. All right, next round we are going to be activating Juva, the Jargono native. Roll for her movement, and rolls a 2. So 1, 2. She's finally made it onto this tile over here, and Juva is going to go ahead and attempt to scavenge the room as well. So rolling 3 dice looking for 6s, and we are unsuccessful in that. All right, Branson, the cowboy, is going to activate. Rolling for movement, he rolled a 3. 1, or actually he's going to go 1, 2, 3. He's going to get closer up to Ezra. He sees this glowing gate. He's curious, but he's also been hired to protect these guys. He's a hired gun, so he wants to get a little bit closer to where the action is, make sure that Ezra's okay. He's going to also scavenge the room, looking for 6s, and unsuccessful there. And finally, we will activate the Prospector, and we will go ahead and roll for movement. He rolls a 6, and he is going to peek through the gate to see what happens. So what we need to do now is we will draw from the, well, this gate is going to lead to Jargono, so we will grab the world card for that. And let's take a look at this. Here's interesting things. Now, any attack is an ambush attack on the D6 roll of 1, 2, or 3. That means that anytime we have an attack, we have to roll a D6 to see if it's going to be an ambush. And then the benefit now is, because of all the what we're going to find there, heroes are going to be +2 rolls on all rolls to catch your breath. So we're going to put that up on our card holder, and I'm going to grab the map deck for the Swamps of Jargono, and I'm going to give it a shuffle, and we'll see where this gate is going to lead to. All right, we have a swampy trail. So let me grab that tile. Okay, here is the tile, and we're going to place it here. Put it on an angle, and we will adjust as necessary. And we will take a gate tile, and we will end up placing it here at the entrance. And we will illuminate this with the lantern, because as he has the lantern and he peeks through, you can also see what is on the other side. And we will place an encounter or an exploration token on this board as well. So, since he was the last to activate, we are going to flip over this exploration token and see. And we have a growing dread encounter. So the first thing that we need to do is take a growing dread card and add it to our stack next to the depth track. And we will also have an encounter. And we have two doorways that are going to be passing here. So both of these spots on here are open. So let me grab a Swamps of Jargono encounter deck. And this also has the Murky Confrontations cards. It's a card supplement that's been added. So we have lots of things in here to find out what we're going to have happen to us. Now, we see, they peer through, they see this swampy forest, and we have found something called sticky eggs. And this is what it says. At the base of each tree here sits a large cluster of sticky bioluminescent jelly-like round eggs. Inside each egg, you can see the shadow of a swirling serpentine thing. The eggs pulse as the creatures inside churn. Each hero must choose to either smash the eggs or stay clear. And so we have to look at this. If we decide to smash the eggs, we have a strength of 4+. For every 4+ rolled, gain 25 XP. For every 6+, you may also cancel a growing tread card in the stack. For every 1 rolled, however, one of the creatures bursts out of an egg and burrows into your skin, and you're going to take corruption points, ignoring willpower as it grows inside of you. We already have 2 growing dread in the stack. So, and also one of the things that I noticed before when I was having encounters is this encounter is going to affect all of the heroes. So despite the fact that Juva is not quite up to these guys at the gate, she is going to still participate in this encounter. So, and she's going to activate first. Since she's familiar with Jargono, she knows what to expect inside these eggs, and she is going to make a decision to smash these eggs. So we're going to go ahead, we'll bring this out, and she needs to make a strength 4+ roll, and she has a strength of 3 and does not have any additional modifiers at this point. So we'll go ahead and roll. She's looking for 4+, and she has 2 successes. So for every 4+ rolled, gain 25 experience points. So that's going to give her 50 experience points. And for every 6 rolled, you may cancel a growing dread card in the stack. So we'll just take the one that we just added and we will cancel that one. So that's going to go away. And that is going to be for Juva. Next, we will have Branson, the cowboy. He also is going to decide to smash some eggs. He has a total strength of 5. He has a base strength of 4, plus he's got rough skin gloves that give him an additional +1 strength. So he's going to roll 5 dice. We're looking for 4+. We don't want any 1s. We want high rolls. Oh, well, he's successful in taking out 3 of the eggs, so that's going to give him 75 XP. So that's going to be good for him. That's he's up to 95 XP already. And we get to cancel a growing dread card, so that will take care of this other one. So both of those are out. However, he is going to take some corruption points. Each one he rolls is going to give him a D3 corruption points. So let's see what happens. Here's the first one. He's going to take 2 corruption points. And the other one, another 2 corruption points. So he's going to have 4 corruption points. So we're going to take these 4 corruption markers and place them onto his card. Now he has a base resistance to corruption value of 5. So if we start taking on any more corruption, we'll run the risk of having mutations and other bad things happen to him. And starting to wonder now if this was worth it, coming in on this adventure, thinking as he feels this stuff, just as he feels the body changing as these serpentine things are growing inside of him. They burrowed into his skin, and he's starting to freak out a little bit. The last person to make a strength is the prospector. He looks over, sees what happens to Branson, but he also saw that Juva was rather diligent in and really aggressive towards smashing these eggs. He figures that his bond with Juva is really strong. He is going to also attempt to smash the eggs. He has a strength of 4. We're going to go ahead, roll, and he is successful. He has successfully smashed 2 of those eggs, gaining 25 experience points apiece. So it's going to give him 50. So that puts him up to 70 experience points as well. So they have successfully smashed a bunch of these eggs. However, Branson took a little bit of a punishment there by having these things burrowing into his arm, and he has now taken some corruption hits. So that resolves this encounter, and this is the end of the round. So the next thing that we need to do is roll to hold back the darkness in the next round. So rolling 2d6. And we're still looking for a 7 plus. We have an 8. We have successfully held back the darkness. Oh, one of the other things that I needed to do again is to move this forward. And also, I need to note that when the prospector looked through, he was going to gain 5 XP for moving or for resolving this tile. Okay. We're going to activate Juva. She needs to catch up to the group. They're getting a little bit anxious. She's falling behind, and she knows what dangers are going to lurk in her home world. So we're going to roll the die. She rolls a 3. So she's going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, and she is right behind in the posse. She's caught up to them. She is going to scavenge the room, hoping to get something to take with her as we head back into Jargono, rolling 3 dice, looking for 6s, and successfully scavenged the room. So we'll add a scavenge token there, and we will grab the scavenge deck, and we will give it a shuffle, and maybe this time she'll find something good. We've had some not so good experiences so far. We've either found nothing or bad stuff. Oh, we have a small find. You find a small scattering of coins stained with blood. She gets 10 XP and 50 gold. So I will go ahead, add that to her list. So she has 50 gold and another 10 experience points. So that was a good find there. Next, Branson is going to activate. We'll go ahead and roll. He rolled a 1 for movement, and he will collect a grit, and we will move forward 1 space right there. And he is not going to do anything. He's just going to stand by and cautiously see what Ezra is going to do. Now Ezra is going to activate and roll his die for movement, and he rolls a 6. Now he is going to choose to step forward through the gate into the next world. So this space would be considered adjacent. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to just move 4 spaces, and he will attempt to scavenge this area and see if he finds anything. So again, rolling 1 extra die, looking for 6s, and unsuccessful in scavenging. Okay, that's the end of this round, and we'll go ahead and roll to hold back the darkness. We'll see what happens. Ooh, so we rolled an 8, which is double 4s. Now, the thing is that we have, instead, when we roll doubles, we have to resolve a depth event. So there is a chart, and this is what happens. So when doubles are rolled for hold back the darkness roll, instead of moving the darkness, a depth event occurs based on the double number that was rolled. So, and this is where he has the lantern. He's on this space. Also, the flooded passageway no longer is protected by the lantern. But rolling a number 4, we have a volley of arrows. A volley of serpentmen arrows rains down from the treetops above. Each hero in Jargono takes 3 hits. Any hero that takes 1 or more wounds from this also gains a poison marker. Okay. So 3 hits. And he's the only one. Actually, he is... That would be considered, let's see, since he's considered on this gate, I have to check the rules and see if Branson is also considered to be in Jargono. Hey, my interpretation of the rules is that Branson is also considered in Jargono, so they each are going to have to defend against 3 hits from these arrows. So the first thing that I need to do is we will go with the Prospector, and his defense is 4+. So we'll see if he is going to be able to prevent them. So let's see. He is 3 hits. We're rolling. And he has been able to successfully deflect 2 of those. So he is, any hero that takes 1 or more wounds gains a poison marker. So we will place a poison marker on the Prospector along with 1 wound. And let's take a look at what the poison markers do. So with the poison marker, at the start of each hero's activation, roll a d6 for each poison marker they currently have on them. If we roll a 1 or 2, the hero takes a wound ignoring defense. On the roll of a 6, discard that marker as its poison effect has worn off. And then we remove all poison markers from a hero at the end of an adventure or if they are KO'd. So until we can get rid of this, he is plagued by poison from the serpentmen arrows. Also, we're going to roll for Branson. Branson also has a 4+ defense. And he was only able to deflect 1 of them, and I don't think that he's going to, he could use a grit to re-roll those 2 of those. I think he's going to spend a grit to avoid hopefully taking damage. And so he's able to deflect one more. So he also is going to take one wound and will also take a poison marker as well. So we'll have a little bit more of some upkeep to do during their turns. But we have successfully handled this event. We've already been besieged as we're entering into this world. So we need to activate Juva. Let me move this card out of the way, this map card. And we will roll for Juva's movement. And she rolls a 5. She is going to actively run into, there's 2, 3, 4, 5. She's going to go up and get next to Ezra. The roles are going to reverse. I think as she knows the area, she's going to be looking out more for Ezra. She's communicating like, this is my land. I'm going to watch for this. And she will attempt to scavenge the area looking for 6s. And she has rolled 1. So we'll place a scavenge marker on there. And we will go ahead and roll or draw from the scavenge deck to see what we find. So I'm giving this a quick shuffle. And we will find a hideous discovery. Poking around in the shadows, you see something that chills you to the bone. You quickly return to the group, refusing to speak of what you have found. Take 3 horror hits that do 2 sanity damage each. So we'll have to roll for willpower. And Juva's willpower is 4+, so we're going to hopefully roll high. And she has only been able to deflect 1. She is going to use a grit to re-roll these 2. And unsuccessful in doing that. So she is going to take 2 of those horror hits with 2 sanity damage each. So she has an 11 sanity, and she's now going to go down to, she's going to lose 4 sanity. So unfortunately, she took a hit there that is going to be costly to her. She's already losing a bit of her sanity. We'll put these sanity markers on her board. Okay. Let's see. Next, we will go ahead and activate Branson, and we will roll for his movement. And he rolled a 1, so he will recover a grit, and he will move forward 1 space into the Jargono area, and he also is going to attempt to scavenge. Actually, no, he's not. He's a little leery based upon his last encounter. He is not. He's a little shaken up right now. He's just going to be coming behind cautiously. He's not going to do anything except just hold his position, and we'll go ahead and activate the prospector. So Ezra rolls for movement. He rolls a 1 and will recover a grit. And he's currently at 2 grit. Branson has 2 grit, and Juva has none. And Ezra is going to choose to scavenge the area, and he will roll 4 dice. And has successfully been able to scavenge. He has a 6. So we will place a scavenged marker on the tile as well. And we will give the scavenged deck a shuffle. Let's see what we will find. A useful discovery. So pulling it from the gnarled hand of a dead body, you find something of value in this forsaken place. Draw a gear card, and it's 10 XP. In looking at the rules, because this is a scavenge card and not a loot card, he will actually be able to draw a gear card, because a lot of times the loot cards, when you are in an other world, if it tells you to draw a gear, most of the time you're going to be drawing an artifact and vice versa. So we will go ahead and shuffle the gear deck and see what Ezra found amongst the trees and the lush growing greenery that is around. And so he finds some flash powder. So this is a gear and is going to gain 2 flash tokens. Discard a flash token to make all enemies -2 initiative until the end of the turn. And then we will discard this card. So let me gain those flash tokens. Here are the flash tokens. We'll put them in his side bag along with his whiskey, and we will discard this card. So the gear is taken care of. All right. So now we've successfully made it into the swamps area. We're going to move on to our next round, where we again have to roll to hold back the darkness. So we'll roll 2 dice and attempt to see what happens. And we rolled an 8. We've successfully been able to hold back the darkness. And we will activate Juva. And she's going to roll for movement. And she rolls a 5. She is going to actually move towards this space 1, 2, and she is going to look through the doorway. So we'll draw a card from the map deck, and it is just going to be a mid passage, and there will be no exploration token. So let me grab that tile. Here's the tile, and I will go ahead and add it on to our map. And I will advance our party marker 1 more space for that tile. All right, next we'll activate Branson. I'm going to go ahead and move this up a little bit and roll for his movement. And he rolls a 6, so he's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to get up next to Juva. And finally, we will go ahead and activate Ezra, roll for his movement, and he rolls a 3. 1, 2, 3. He's going to stand right behind the 3 of them. And we're going to, again, have to make a roll to hold back the darkness. This we now have this this tile has now illuminated over here. I'm going to do some housekeeping and rearrange things so that we can be spending our time here in the swamps of Jargono. Okay, so what I've done is removed the pretty much the mine tiles from play. We are not planning on returning that way for this particular adventure. And also what happens is now we're going to be drawing cards from the map deck that is the Swamps of Jargono, which has the mine tiles on the other side. And so what the rules say is to basically you just take those tiles and you just put them in a pile, and you're going to be able to reuse them. So I took them off, did a little bit of housekeeping. Also, another thing that I needed to remind everybody of is that we need to find 2 of these tokens, these clue icons, while we are in Jargono. This particular one we found on the initial tile, so we have 1 more that we're going to be looking for as we're progressing. So the next thing, we did roll to hold back the darkness. The next thing we're going to do is activate Juva and see where she's going to lead us. And she has a 3 for her movement. This is 1, 2, 3. She is going to scavenge this tile. So we're going to be rolling 3 dice, looking for 6s. And we have successfully scavenged, so we'll place a scavenge token. And we'll draw the scavenged deck and give it a quick shuffle. See if we can find anything of value. We had a useful find the last time, picking up a piece of gear that is, or we found those flash tokens that we can use to give a negative initiative, which would be useful in case we're ambushed. Maybe we can surprise them back. So we will find here something shiny. So this is going to get 10 XP, so that puts her up to 80. And there's something back there. Roll a d6. So on a roll of 1 to 4, we're going to get a dark stone. A 5, we're going to get a gear, and 6, we will gain an artifact. So let's go ahead and place this right here and make our roll. And roll the 5. So she also is going to find a piece of gear. So let's see what we get. And she found a tonic, so we're going to gain a tonic token and discard this card. So we will grab our tonic token, and just a reminder, we can use a tonic token to recover 1 grit. So that will be useful. So currently Juva doesn't have any grit, and she's going to hold on to that for right now. Next, we are going to activate Branson. So we'll go ahead and roll for movement for him. Whoops. And he rolled a 3. So he's going to 1, 2, 3. He's going to be right next to Juva, and he's going to attempt to scavenge. He's feeling a little more confident, seeing that she is finding stuff. He's hoping maybe he could find something, maybe something that will give him some luck, boost his confidence as we're trudging through the swamps. And yes, he has been successful in scavenging as well. So we'll place a scavenge token there, and we'll give the scavenged deck a shuffle. And hopefully we could find something good. I'd like to have something usefulness for him. All right. Nothing here. The room appears to have nothing of value, nothing to find, but he does get 10 XP, so we'll take 10. All right. And finally, we'll activate Ezra. And he rolled a 4 for his movement, and he's going to go 1, 2, 3. And he's going to stop. He's going to move 1 more space and stop in right behind Juva. And he will also scavenge the room. Now, the limit normally on a tile is 2 times for a 3-player game. However, his Eagle Eye ability allows him to scavenge each map tile 1 more time than is normally allowed, and he gets to roll 1 extra die when scavenging. So rolling 4 dice, looking for 6s. And we have 1 6, so he has successfully scavenged this tile. So we'll place a scavenge token there, and we will again give the scavenged deck a shuffle and draw a card and see what we find. Nothing here. So again, it appears to have nothing of value here, but gets 10 XP. So Ezra gets 10 XP. Puts him up to 85. All right. Next round again. Holding back the darkness. We're looking for a, let's see, we had 1, 2, 3, 4. Here comes the roll. We rolled a 7. We've been able to hold it back. And the next thing we'll do is activate Juva, rolling for her movement. She rolls a 3. She's going to move forward 1, and we'll go ahead and look through the door. And we're going to find a cross passage and no exploration token. So let me go ahead and grab the tile. So here it is, and we will go ahead and add this to our pathway. So I'll slide this over a little bit so we can see as we are moving through. And we will move this forward, our party marker. And she's standing on both spaces right here. Okay. Next, we will activate Branson, and we will roll for his movement. Whoops. And roll the 1. He is going to recover a grit, but he's already at his maximum grit, so he will go ahead and discard that right away to add a d6 to his movement. So we have a 1 plus 3 is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And he is going to attempt to scavenge the room. So we'll take 3 dice looking for 6s, and we are unsuccessful in scavenging with Branson. And finally, we will go ahead and activate Ezra. He rolls a 4 for his movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're wandering through the swamps. He is going to scavenge as well, rolling 4 dice, looking for 6 plus, whoop, and unsuccessful in scavenging as well. So our next round, we will continue to hold back. Actually, we're going to move this lantern token. This needs to be lighting up over here. Sorry, I keep forgetting to do that. So this tile here is no longer covered with light. So next we will roll to hold back the darkness. Still looking to have a 7 plus on our roll. And we rolled double 6s. So again, we will have another depth event. So looking at the depth event chart in the other world, the swamps of Jargono, we rolled double 6s. The fountain of life, a wellspring bubbles up here, rejuvenating all that touches its waters. Each hero may immediately heal 2 d6 wounds or sanity, any mix, and remove any poison markers on them. KO'd heroes may instead immediately recover, rolling their injury madness and healing 2d6 wounds sanity as normal for recovering. This is amazing for our heroes because 2 of them have poison markers on them. So let's start off with, we will start with Juva, and we will roll 2d6, and she will actually be able to heal a total of 7. She is going to recover or heal all 4 of her sanity damage is going to go away. She does not have a poison marker on her, so she is back to full strength. Next, Branson. He is going to be able to recover 5. He is also going to remove his 2 sanity and 1 wound. And then also, he will be able to remove his poison marker as well. So that's gone. His wound and 2 sanity. So he is back to full strength. And finally, with Ezra, he is going to be able to recover 5. And so he is going to actually heal 5 of his sanity wounds and also remove his poison marker as well. He still actually has 1 wound and 1 sanity damage to him, but this fountain of life has rejuvenated our party, has brought more life into them. They are all of a sudden they feel empowered. They feel the healing of the waters as the poison exits their body. And so here we are going to end this particular session. We'll end it on a high note. I hope that you guys are enjoying this playthrough. It's exciting to see we've had a number of things that have happened during this encounter, this particular session. We've had some negative things that happened to our party, but we've also had some really exciting positive things happen. And so ending on a high note with finding this fountain of life, I think, is a great way to end this. So again, I hope you guys are enjoying this. Let me know in the comments what you think. What do you think of the prospector's ability to be able to scavenge more? We've taken advantage of it here and using that extra die. And let me know what you think of the event so far, and join me again next time as we continue to delve further into the swamps of Jargono here in Shadows of Brimstone. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.